Hey guys, welcome back to Whiskey on the West Coast. My name is Matt, and this is...
This is Kyla.
Say hello to Kyla, guys. So you're usually not on this side of the
No.
camera. You're usually on the other side taking care of business and
Yes.
editing, doing thumbnails, making this happen. What are you doing on this side of the camera?
Well, we're doing a little bit of a different type of video today. It will definitely involve a lot of whiskey, don't you worry. We're not veering into a totally different way of doing this, but we have a trip upcoming, like in days, so very much upcoming. And we wanted to share a little bit about what we're doing and ask for maybe some advice as well.
Yeah. So we're leaving British Columbia here on the west coast of Canada.
Yeah.
And where are we heading?
We're heading to the UK.
United Kingdom. Yes, we're heading to the UK. Like you said, days away.
Yes.
And so we're going to be starting off in London. We're going to be doing, 4 days in London.
Mm-hmm.
We'll train up to Edinburgh, have 3 nights in Edinburgh, which is going to be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll make our way across to Islay, Campbeltown, and we'll finish up, whiskey, and we'll probably finish up, it's not certain yet, but it sounds like we'll finish up in Glasgow.
Yeah, probably. Maybe.
Yeah.
We'll see.
So the back end of the trip is going to have a lot more whiskey stuff, which I want to talk to you guys about because I'm super excited. And again, we need some advice on the trip. But first off, Kyla, what are you excited about for this trip?
So much of it. This trip is something that has been over a year in the making now. We had it planned for the last June, but life circumstances got in the way and it became something that we had to put off till this year. So the fact that we're going is already very exciting. We have plane tickets. Like, this feels pretty legit. I mean, we'll wait till the wheels take off. I don't know. But I'm really looking forward to London and Edinburgh. Those parts of the trip were kind of my babies to plan and organize. And I've wanted to go to London for a long time. So just even the idea of like seeing all these sites that I've seen in movies or seen in all sorts of, anyways. So seeing Buckingham Palace in real life will be really cool. We're really close to Hyde Park, so just wandering around there. We're taking a trip over to Windsor Castle, so we'll get to see that part of London or the UK. And we're doing a lot of things. We're doing London Tower of London, sorry. Churchill War Rooms. That's something that you're really excited about. I think that'll be really cool too.
Lots of museums. We've got some pubs we're looking at, some things like that. So that part of the trip will be really cool. Edinburgh.
And then we're off to Edinburgh, which again, there's the history of Edinburgh is actually quite fascinating to me. I think yourself as well.
Yeah.
So there's lots of sites historically speaking that we're really excited to see and just get to wander around and experience in real life. So we've got Holyrood Palace.
What
am I doing? I don't know. I know these things, but I can't.
Edinburgh Castle.
On my feet. Edinburgh Castle. We've got, I don't know if we're doing any museums there so much. I think those are kind of the main things that are on the 2 full days that we have there. You'll probably do the hike up to Arthur's Seat. I may or may not join. We'll see how that morning feels. But those parts of the trip are the parts that I'm the most excited for. As much as I am part of this channel in the back end, I am not a huge fan of whiskey. So there's a reason I'm not often on this side of the camera for that reason. But in terms of Islay and Campbeltown and that half of the trip as well, I think the images I've seen, the pictures I've seen of that part of the world, seeing the images of Islay, it just looks so picturesque and relaxed and peaceful. And I'm glad that we've ordered our trip this way to kind of end there. I think it'll just feel like a nice kind of, at least that's sort of how it seems. So what about you? What are you looking forward to?
I'm definitely excited for all the history that London and Edinburgh and obviously even Islay, like Glasgow, just everywhere is just steeped in history. So Churchill War Rooms, I'm excited for the museums in London and just seeing all the sites, again, Buckingham Palace, Tower of London, all the different neighborhoods that have so much significance. But also in Edinburgh, again, Arthur's Seat, Edinburgh Castle, Holyrood Palace, the Royal Mile, stopping at a Royal Mile whiskey shop, that'll be cool. But where the whiskey stuff really starts, because we're not gonna, unfortunately, we're not going to get to Bimber Distillery in London. It just wasn't going to work out. The first real whiskey stop outside of maybe the Whiskey Exchange in London is going to be the Holyrood Distillery in Edinburgh, the first single malt Scotch distillery in Edinburgh in a long time. So that's really cool because it's part owned by a couple of Canadians that also brought the Scotch Malt Whisky Society to Canada. So I'm really excited about that. So we'll definitely be stopping in at Holyrood for a tour. We'll be stopping in on either the Queen Street location or the Vaults location of the SMWS. I'm not a member yet. We'll see if that changes.
Still on the fence.
Still on the fence. Might change days before. But yeah, so really excited for all that. And of course, the Royal Mile, you've got Cadenheads on there. You've got, as I mentioned, Royal Mile Whiskey Shop. You've got so much. So really excited. But where the whiskey stuff really picks up and takes off is when we head to Islay. Get on that ferry at Kennecraig and step foot on, let's say this pilgrimage is hallowed ground. So we've got 4 nights in Islay. Yeah, 4 nights. We're going to be staying on Lockendall, which is going to be wonderful. In a little cabin. It's going to be great. And so for the whiskey content on Islay, it's going to be very heavy. We're going to be starting off at Bruichladdich on the first day, a tour and the warehouse tasting. Can't miss that. In between, we're going to be stopping off at Killoman Distillery for a tour. And we're going to probably hit Macure Bay, the beach, at the same time, which sounds awesome. So the second day, we'll be hitting up the Kildalton coast. Ardbeg was a little rough to actually schedule. So we'll just be visiting Ardbeg and probably the cafe there. Take some pictures outside, maybe visit the shop if it's open. And then we'll be traveling down the road to Laphroaig. We'll be taking in the Distiller's Wares tour, which means pulling Laphroaig straight from the cask, which I'm excited about.
No, not at all.
I don't think we'll throw on our welly boots and head out to the peat fields and find my square foot of Islay, but
we'll know it's there.
Yeah, we'll know it's there.
You own a part of that.
I'll claim my rent. I'll definitely claim my rent, my dram from Laphroaig. And after that, we'll be hitting up Lagavulin for the tour and the famous warehouse tasting that they have there. So really excited about that. And then our last full day in Islay, at least I will be heading over to Bowmore, because I believe they keep all the good Bowmore in the vaults there. Definitely not in the Bowmore 12-year-old. That's not where they keep the good Bowmore.
Okay, save the rant.
Yes. So I'm really excited about that because Bowmore, when it's unadulterated, is absolutely bloody brilliant. So vaults tasting at Bowmore, and then we'll be heading up to Bunnahabhain for a tour and the Warehouse 9 tasting, where hopefully we'll run into David Brody. I don't know, it's a pretty... There's a lot of high praise for the warehouse tour, so I'm excited for that. We'll probably visit the grounds of Killila and Ardnahoe while we're on Islay, but we have so many other places we want to visit too, like Finlagan Castle, and we're gonna visit Dunnyveg, obviously, and the American monuments. There's some hikes. There's lots of beaches.
Yeah, and it sounds like too, from what you watched on Roy's latest, was it latest or one of his aqua?
One of the most recent V-pubs.
That's what I'm trying to say. About not planning too densely, and I think we've already messed that up. So
yeah, no, I definitely did exactly what he said not to do. So we'll see how this goes. And then once we're done on Islay, we'll be heading to Campbeltown. As soon as we get to Campbeltown, there's a Cadenheads warehouse tasting I'll be taking part in. Yeah. And then the next day we'll be
Springbank.
We'll be visiting Springbank. We'll be doing the tour at Springbank, and then following that, we'll be doing the Kilkerran tour at Glengyle Distillery. Yeah. And we'll probably visit Glen Scotia Distillery. We don't have a tour set up there yet. We'll see if we can squeeze one in, but we've got to leave room for other things too. And after that, we'll take off to Glasgow, and we'll see if there's anything whiskey related there. Maybe stopping on the Bonaccord or the Pot Still. I'm not sure. Yeah. That part's open-ended.
We'll see. And eventually we'll come home, probably.
If Scotland lets us come home. I don't know.
Possibly.
They might want to keep us.
Or we might want to stay.
Yeah, so that's the whiskey related content there, guys. I'm hoping to bring lots of that back with me so I can bring that content to you. If it's cask pulls, like little bottles straight from the cask from these distilleries, or if they're fez releases, yeah, I want to bring some of that content back with me to bring to you. But we have a question that we're wanting help with, and what that is obviously this is our first trip, so we've never been to Scotland before. And so if you have any tips, if you have any suggestions on places we need to check out on Islay, like little beaches, if there's any coffee shops, and in particular restaurants. We're not really sure where to go for restaurants in Edinburgh, on Islay, in Campbeltown. So yeah, if you can comment down below any local bars, restaurants, or any little beaches or little just hideaways that we should go and just have a quiet moment and enjoy, or any really cool history that we're probably missing out on.
Yeah.
Something that you think we need to check out, please let us know in the comments. It'll be really, really appreciated.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome.
Thank you.
So until next time, thank you for joining me on the West Coast. If you can like, share, and subscribe, as always, that really helps. And come back for more in the future. I can't wait for this trip, guys. And I can't wait to talk to you about it once it's done. Until next time, slàinte.